Hey guys, I am back. This is HD, and I'm coming at you guys with the next game of this series in the IPL qualifiers. It is, of course, KiwiKaki and Stephano. Game number 2. It's going to be another Protoss versus Zerg, of course, unless the players switched up their races. No, they did not. And Stephano here is going to be the pink Zerg, 12 o'clock position of this historic map. And KiwiKaki is going to be at the 3 o'clock position. It looks like both players wishing themselves and their opponents a little bit of good luck, have fun. And we already saw the first game was definitely a little interesting base trade situation where KiwiKaki opened up the game with extra aggression. He didn't even go for the 4 gate, he went for the balls out bonkers 5 gate. And that additional gateway gives you that extra cycle of production, but it also limits the amount of probes you can produce, and it limits your transition or your exit strategy, so to say. So basically, there is no exit strategy once you go into a 5 gate. You're all in or nothing, and it can actually be really effective. Stephano, though, was able to get a beat on that with the Zergling he had at the Xel'Naga Tower on the western side of Xel'Naga Caverns, and when he saw the forces pushing out primarily Zealot Sentry, he kind of realized that, okay, something very fishy is going on here. That's way too early for forces to be pushing out. There's no Nexus being placed down at the natural, and so Stephano sniffed it out very well, and he decided to counter it with a bunch of spine crawlers, lings, and that's pretty much it. And he held off the 5 gate very, very well. Good decision making from him as well to go for the base race. Otherwise, he would have just been standing there defending well, a natural the whole game, because KiwiKaki wisely decided to warp right into the main as soon as he had vision. So, you know, a lot of times games will come down to decision making, and I've been saying this time and time again to a lot of my friends who play Starcraft 2 at, you know, the mid-masters level. At some point, your mechanics in Starcraft are gonna peak. And there's just no way around it. At some point, they're going to peak. And to propel you to the next level of play, you've got to have a solid decision making. And that's where you're going to start converting some of that spam action you do into just thinking about what your next maneuver should be. So rather than always clicking your hatchery, always clicking your drones at the mid to late portions of the game, you start thinking, how do I beat my opponent? And I think Stephano really wisely decided, you know what, my best option here, not to defend, rather attack. And when he attacked, he didn't attack with all of his links. You guys remember, he actually pulled a good chunk of them back. He only sent enough in to do crippling damage to KiwiKaki. He pulled the rest back so he could defend his natural in conjunction with the newly placed wall of vertical spine crawlers. And that's just, you know, really, really smart thinking and play to me. And that's why Stephano is really a top-notch, high-level Zerg player. Having said that, though, KiwiKaki definitely is an unpredictable player, and he's super, super good. I've been watching a lot of games of KiwiKaki, you know, throughout IPL and throughout many, many different tournaments and organizations, and whoop, sorry, my phone just decided to vibrate. I don't know if you guys heard that, but KiwiKaki is a player that uses strategies and build orders to his success. He is one that thinks very, very long and hard about what the best build is, when's the best time to execute it, when is the best time to attack, when's the best time to defend. And because of that, KiwiKaki is a very explosive player. You just never know when he's going to attack you, and I think that works. I think that works very well with the race he plays. Protoss is a race that can be very explosive, unpredictable. In the hands of KiwiKaki, it's definitely something dangerous that I would not want to mess around with. I don't know why there's so many larvae there. Okay, it looks like the queen probably went over to the natural. Yeah, there it is. So now the larvae are being produced into 12 Zerglings. And look at Stephano. Speaking about being explosive, Stephano taking a page out of Kiwi's book now. Maybe looking to return the favor with a Baneling bust here, guys. And a couple of lings trying to make their way around. But look at that wall from KiwiKaki. Very well placed. That is Zergling proof right there, guys. You guys might not think it is, but it is. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why, it's just the way the game works. I think it's after Starcraft 2, after Blizzard patched the way you blocked a ramp, you have to block it with 3 bunkers rather than 2, and 3 pylons rather than 2, so that's the way it works now, and that is a foolproof wall. Anyways, Stephano here, he looks like he may be going for the bust. No, he canceled the Baneling Nest. Okay, very high-level play right now as you know, Stephano, he ran into the front, realized, you know what, that isn't very bustable. All the buildings at the front are pretty much solid to a Baneling bust. It's going to take over 10 Banelings to destroy that, and at that point, you've got to still work your way through the cannons. You're going to invest so much into it, it's just not going to work out. And Stephano I think wisely, decided, yeah, maybe I'm going to cancel the Baneling Nest, and instead, I'm going to go for a third hatchery, and I'm going to try to play macro. And I kind of like that decision making. Sometimes you got to know when to be aggressive and when to be passive. Stephano's showing right there that that was probably the right time to back it off, cool his jets down, and save the Baneling, the green stuff, for another day. Now, KiwiKaki has quite a few zealots here. That's actually a little unnatural, the number of zealots he's got this early in the game. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 zealots total right here, and he's been using Chrono Boost on zealots and +1 weapons here, and wow, interesting timing from KiwiKaki once again. Kiwi very precise about his build orders, very precise, and he knows, he's so wise, he knows when to make attacks count and when they'll hurt the most. And I can tell you guys as a Zerg player, this is something that I would not be expecting. I would not be expecting 8 +1 weapons zealots to be coming out at 6 or 8 minutes into this game. It's very unexpected, and with +1 weapons, the zealots will two-shot a Zergling. And that just makes them all the more deadly. And here comes those Zerglings. They are just going to get grinded down by these zealots. I don't even think Stephano can hold this off. He is making 14 more lings, however, and he's running around the map right now. Hey, he gets a surround on one of the zealots. That's huge. He can pick it off and run away. That's exactly what Stephano wants to do. KiwiKaki needs to make sure his zealot ball stays conglomerated as one big group. Together, united, divided they fall. And KiwiKaki here losing a lot of his +1 zealots, sending 3 into the 3rd expansion. I think he was trying to buy time for his 3 zealots to harass the drone line and maybe pick off the hatchery, but Kiwi not expecting that many Zerglings to come out, and his early zealots are going to go down. Stephano's defense holds, and Stephano showing once again why he's such a top-class player. Very well done by Stephano. But look at this, guys. KiwiKaki, meanwhile, warping in 2 Stargates, and now he's double chrono boosting Void Rays. And this is even more unexpected. With the Zealot follow-up, you can kind of see right now what KiwiKaki's strategy was. Reveal the +1 Zealots, have Stephano overproduce and over-commit to defenses on the ground. And then when these Void Rays come out, what is Stephano gonna do? Stephano trying to run into the natural here. The cannon's so well placed, so the probe's easily able to retract themselves into the northern mineral stack, and that will keep them safe from those Zerglings. And I don't think Stephano can do much, and really, he just needs to pull an Overlord here to scout the double Stargate. Look at that Overlord. It is so close from seeing those Void Rays, and I think Stephano here making a little bit of a mistake. Missing the crucial 9 to 10 minute scout. The delayed scout here is so crucial for a Zerg player to do, and if they miss that, it can be game ending, especially against a Protoss player like KiwiKaki, who can be so unexpected. Stephano here may end up paying the ultimate price. Having said that, however, he is throwing up, look at this, triple spine crawlers, and yeah, 3 spine crawlers in total. So he's not completely sold on the idea that KiwiKaki is playing ultimately all-out ground, and I think that goes back to the fact where he ran his Zerglings in here, and all he saw were the Zealots and only a couple sentries. Something seems fishy. For this much gas that KiwiKaki's mining, there's got to be something else going on, and Stephano gets the Spore Crawlers not just for air defense, but also for Dark Templar defense, and the Spore Crawlers are certainly going to prove to be a bit helpful, but the thing here is KiwiKaki may end up going for the 3rd. Now the Void Rays have revealed themselves to the Xel'Naga Tower, which I believe Stephano had before. Now he's going to throw up, what, 5 Spore Crawlers at the front, 3 Spore Crawlers at the natural. Is it going to be enough for KiwiKaki to hold? Remains to be seen. Excuse me, is it going to be enough for Stephano to hold? And here comes the Speedlings. There is no mobile air here for Stephano, which means he has to fight here and protect the Spore Crawlers before they get picked off. And it looks like Stephano going in for the ultimate engage. He has to defend here. The Void Rays are just doing so much damage, and the Zealots in the front. If the Zealots can pick off all these Spore Crawlers, then Stephano is going to be in a lot of trouble. KiwiKaki's ultimate goal here is just to pick off the Spore Crawlers. All the Zerglings, once they go down, then the Spore Crawlers are going to be free to be picked off. And KiwiKaki does exactly that. He kills off almost all the Zerglings, and with the pylon here as well. Oh, no more reinforcements arriving here, and KiwiKaki kills off every single last Spore Crawler. There is no anti-air here to be seen, and Stephano really doesn't even, I don't even think he cares at this point about having anti-air or not, because the ground forces are ripping the hatchery apart. How many gateways is KiwiKaki operating off of? 4, 5, 6, 7 gates. Couple of Zerglings making their way into the natural here, trying to distract and harass Kiwi for a little bit. But they're unable to do damage to that wall at the front. It's just too Zergling proof. And here comes the impending Doom Ball from Kiwi. Completely bypassing the Spine Crawler wall. And Stephano just says, oh man, screw it, I'm done. And that's it. That's GG. So KiwiKaki bringing it back for a moment and now able to tie up the series to 1-1. Not too shabby at all. So remember, guys, whoever wins this ends up playing MMA, who was the winner of July Zerg, for the grand finals of qualifier, online qualifier number 3, actually, for IPL. So KiwiKaki busting out one of his very unpredictable and very imaginative builds. And it ends up working very well. The early +1 Zealot timing doesn't exactly do that much damage, but it did damage, indirect damage, in the form of making Stephano overinvest in ground defense, overinvest in way too many speedlings, and never really getting enough units to deal with the Void Rays. And then KiwiKaki just transitioning into double Stargate and using the air to pound down the win. So Kiwi is going to be the victor here, and we're going to move on to game number 3 in this series. So make sure you guys stay tuned. This is HD, signing out.